Hello, friend. How are you today? I want to talk to you about my experience with language. And I think it's much broader than that, but let's start there just to quickly give you an idea of what I'm going to talk about. Because I'm Greenlandic and I live in Denmark and I speak Danish mostly. I also speak a bit of Greenlandic. But I see that I have been on a journey to Greenland for 2.5 weeks and to work and create a project and do some costumes. And I have been very much immersed in the cultural life there, and I got my chin tattoo. And I have observed some emotions coming up and some insights being formed from those emotions, because I have been eating with my family and, immersing myself in the culture and meeting with my mom's old friends and speaking with people that I normally don't speak with and that I have met and had some deep conversations with. And I have observed my own feelings in this because I realize I've grown up with my mom and my two siblings, and they all speak Greenlandic, and they have always been spoken Greenlandic at home and also Danish, but they speak fluent Greenlandic. And I was the only one who didn't really speak Greenlandic, and due to various things, I have decided, or I had gotten into my brain that I do not speak Greenlandic. I do not know how to speak Greenlandic, and that has always been a problem of mine. And due to some circumstances and the luggage that we carry, the baggage that we carry, I decided in my youth that I do not want to learn to speak Greenlandic, and I regret that with all of my heart. To this day. Well, it is what it is, and I have also observed the reasons for this, and that's for another video, if any. But I decided that I did not want to learn to speak Greenlandic because it was too hard, and I got so much slack. I got bonked on the head for not doing it right and not being a proper Greenlandic person. And that has made me feel like I did not belong in Greenland. Like I did not belong in my own community. And then I moved to Denmark. I live in Denmark and I am here and I am a Greenlander, right? I am not a Danish person. I am a Greenlandic person, though in, what's it called? Lawfully or jurisdictionally, I'm a Danish citizen. We're all Danish citizen because of things. Anyway, that's also another story. But the thing is that I have never really had a place to belong. I never really had a sense of belonging. And I never really had a sense of safe space. And one of the things that has nothing to do with business, but more personal life, is the way that I am introverted, the way that I try to shy away from people and want to push people away, is that I never felt safe around people because I was always wrong. I was always feeling like I was the one that was wrong, that was imperfect, that was lifing wrong, right? Either I didn't speak the right language, or I wasn't the right culture, or things like that. That has in me created this limiting belief that I do not belong anywhere. And as I do not belong anywhere, I get this feeling when I'm with people that there's a preconceived notion that I do not belong. So I protect myself. I'm introverted. I do not feel like I belong, so I act like that. And that makes me push people away. That makes me, not want to try and belong because I'm so afraid of being pushed away for not belonging. And that feeds into business as well. Like that feeds into any situation where I have to deal with people, where I have to meet people. And when I was in Greenland this time around, because the last couple of times I've been speaking with my sister around my language and realized, dude, I do speak Greenlandic. I do know words. I understand when people speak to me, and I speak it well. I don't speak it fluently. I understand quite a lot. I cannot hold a sophisticated conversation in Greenlandic, but I do understand a lot, and I can, listen along and say my things and be sort of part of the conversation, but I could never fully immerse myself in the conversation if it was solely Greenlandic, right? But that is where my own limiting belief of not being part of the community has stopped me, because people are really interested in each other. Like, I'm interested in you, and you're probably interested in me. Well, if we are connecting, right? But when we know several languages, it would be okay for me to, convert to Danish or start speaking English and then continue the conversation and use multiple languages, because it's really what's behind the language that is interesting, right? That what we're talking about, the topic, that's the interesting thing. And I stopped myself before that because I felt like I was judged beforehand, and then I was not good enough, right? So I observed this because I had breakfast with some people that I did not have, that I haven't had breakfast with from before, like my mom, like many years before my mom died, because it was my mom's friend. And I had dinner with my family, with my brothers and sisters on my father's side and their kids, and just, having family time. And I realized that I actually really enjoy this. Like, I actually really enjoy this once I get over the hump of the language barrier. The language barrier have been so high for me that I excluded myself beforehand, right? And that really sucks. Like, it really, really sucks. I'm 44, and it sucks having to look back and see that I've excluded myself from so many connections, and I've taught myself to self-protect before connection. That really sucks, but that's what I'm working on now. But this time around, I really felt that I actually got to connect, and we got to speak in both Danish and Greenlandic, and people honored that and people respected that, and I wasn't wrong. I wasn't wrong. I was just seen as me, and that gave me, because I was so observant in it, and I did it on purpose, I was conscious about all of this, right? So I was like integrating that, oh, I'm not wrong, I'm not being judged, and if I were, it doesn't really matter, because I'm just being me, right? I was not trying to protect myself and shut people out beforehand, and just going all in and experiencing whatever it is that the situation came with, right? Family time, my small nephews and my niece, and they were just like, oh, adorable, and I got to smile and feel the love and connect in some way, and I got hugs and eat the Greenlandic food, yum, and have conversation, and it was all around a good time that I haven't really experienced, because I always felt that I had the barrier of the language and or the barrier of the culture. At any point in time, I have to brace and be prepared for attack. That is how I've lived, and that is how I have experienced life up until now. And obviously that has created some limiting beliefs around my own worth and around my own, connection, and that people need to see me as perfect or something, I don't know, whatever, brain. And just observing that and trying to be in situations differently has really helped me experience something unique in Greenland this time, and has helped me feel that, my goodness, I actually get to belong. If I let myself belong, I actually get to connect with people, and I don't have to brace all the time. And I am thinking that this is literally the thing that has made me extremely introverted and socially isolated, because I felt I was always wrong. But now that I'm opening up, I feel that it's actually quite amazing to connect with people. It's actually quite amazing to, you know, create community. It's actually quite amazing to, you know, immerse yourself in groups of people that you feel aligned with. And it's amazing to have conversations. You know, I love having conversations. If you don't know me, well, you know me. If you know me, you know that I love just speaking to you. And if you're close to me, you know that I love just babbling on about things that I'm interested in. And I feel like now I finally have given myself permission to do that, regardless of who, what, where, why, and wherefore, and whence, and stuff. And language barriers, and cultural identities, and fear of judgment and stuff. There is so much in that has held me away from expressing myself. And if you feel something similar, I see you, and I feel that it's literally a decision in our brains to give ourselves permission to express ourselves as we want to. I think I haven't really distilled that just yet, but here we are. I feel so much better now since I've experienced this. Let's say that to begin with. And I'm really happy to be here and really happy to start expressing things. And especially, you know, getting rid of those silly limiting beliefs that stop us, because we don't want them anymore. We want to build this self-sovereign life that feels amazing without abandoning ourselves, right? That is what we want to do, and that is what I'm doing here and everywhere, obviously in my life, but I'm also sharing it publicly. And it has to do with culture sometimes, because I'm culturally confused. Well, not anymore, well, a bit, but anyway, taking it back. Anyway, have a wonderful day. Love you, bye.